Hey guys, this is Master. Welcome to another Tops episode. Now, I kind of still want to do my Emblem Fates characters Tops, but I came to think about how about the royal characters, since they're actually really important to the overall stories of Emblem Fates, and naturally it would make sense for people to put at least maybe two or maybe three of them onto top 10 list of favorite Emblem Fates characters. So I decided to split them. Decided to separate the 10 main royal characters from everyone else. Now, why 10? Because there's actually 10 of them. I'm referring to, in no particular order, the Birthright family, which is Ryoma, Takumi, Honoka, and Sakura. The Conquest main family, which is Xander, Camilla, Leo, and Elise. The main character Corrin, and Asura. So those characters are the topic of this Tops. And of course, I just want to listen separately so that I can have more room to talk about everyone else. Now, I'm not going to talk about the children of said characters since, well, one, I just recently got the last children character, Shiro, and there's not much for him to talk about. Granted, there is something, but I kind of want to leave it as a 10, so maybe if I could talk about the children characters on the other list, I will do so. So that is enough of that, so let's start this thing. Now, I gotta have to say my least favorite royal character out of this group is Takumi. Now, that's mostly because I played a bit of Conquest before Birthright, since I got the Birthright DLC after about chapter 10 or 11, one of those two, after Conquest. So, just so you know, there's going to be a bit of bias, and my bias says Takumi's a giant butthole. Even during Birthright, I just find Takumi kind of a big butthole. Until a spoilery bit in the story of why he's such a giant butthole. So, I kind of want to get into it, but I'm not entirely sure if it's a good idea. But long story short, it's a thing that gets resolved very easily once on the mission you get him in. Which is surprising, because why doesn't this solution be done in Conquest, given how easily the solution was in Birthright. So, yeah, so I'm gonna say that Takumi's a giant butthole. As a character, he's really, yeah, I don't like him. I just really don't like him. That's much it. Moving on. Nine is Sakura. Now, okay, again, this is mostly due to class preferences, but as a healer-only class, I prefer the Troubadour over the Cleric class, or in this case, the Shrine Maiden class. Again, it's mostly entirely due to the movement range. So the Troubadours, there was a 7, I think, their movement ranges, or was it 6? Either way, the Shrine Maiden is a lot less than that, so it's easier for the Troubadour to actually go start healing. Now, the cool thing about Birthright when it comes to healing items is that even the weakest ones, there are 2 range ones. So it's easier for the Shrine Maiden to at least get a bit away before doing the healing, instead of the Conquest staves, which you have to be next to them to actually get their effect, which may or may not jeopardize Elise. So, but at least it worked out for me for Elise. But for Sakura, it took me a while to actually get her to level 10 and change it to the Sage class or on Miyoji class. So, and as a character, Sakura is Fluttershy. That's pretty much the best descriptor for those who know Fluttershy. look at the shy part of her name. I think that kind of explains everything you'll ever need to know. I just don't like that kind of character in the video game. In real life, maybe, but yeah, in video games, not really. I just don't really like that kind of character. So, and yeah, I just don't find her that interesting as a character. Asura. Now, okay, Asura. So she is this low on the list, mostly due to her class. Again, it's kind of like Sakura as her class, but it's not. Well, it's sort of her class, and also sort of how the game's like leveling up system, not leveling up system, the grinding system. Yeah. Thing is, in Conquest, I have a difficult time training Asura because there's little to no reason to use her base class. Because I've been using her base class for a good long time for both versions. But for Conquest, like once you get something off the floor, or at least once you get Elise to get her her upgraded class or that sort of thing, Asura's base class becomes kind of useless. And actually, to this day, to this day being the 22nd of April, I have yet to have Asura onto level 10 for base class, and that's after giving her the her husband, giving her the Sky Knight class, because I decided screw it, I'm gonna put her to a Sky Knight class, and that's still after getting her son, which is now objectively better than Asura is. So Asura is not completely useless. The only reason why I probably would still keep her is because I married her to freaking Niles, which is actually quite helpful, especially with his lock touch ability. Even though granted I gave it to other people, I gave it to Soleil, I gave it to did I give Asuki? I think Asuki has it. He defaults with it. So there's really no more reason to keep him around. But now Azura's completely useless. Meanwhile, in Birthright, because there are a lot more opportunities to grind, especially for weaker opponents to grind, Azura's actually a lot better there. So I kept her base class. I think she's on level 13 or something in Birthright, even though I once again don't use her that much anymore. And heck, I haven't gotten her husband yet. I have yet to decide who it will be. Mostly due to a lot of the male characters left. It just aren't that interesting. Their kids just aren't that interesting. Because Dwyer, no way. Dwyer and what's their other names I forget. That's not important though. I find her just quite useless. As a character though, okay. Azura's character is okay. It would be really cool if on that theater scene, the theater scene in the trailers where like she changes clothes, like if it's like the Conquest side, she just has her clothes changed. I mean, granted, there is a reason why she actually had her clothes changed and keep her normal white outfit for the main game. But I don't know, kind of really cool to like keep to that darker outfit for Conquest. But maybe just me. Next. Leo. Okay, now we're going into the Nor royal family properly, and I just find Leo the least interesting character out of the four Nor royals. I'm not counting Asura in there. She's like both. But Leo, just finding his personality kind of okay. Like, it's no big deal. I mean, the devil's own luck. Okay, I mean, that's a thing to say. That's his little shtick, but. Well, Leo, to me right now, is just a Dark Knight, even though I've had Odin be a Dark Knight way before I had Leo, even though I know Leo's going to be a Dark Knight, but Odin's I found him to be kind of a better Dark Knight, mostly because you get him earlier in the game. I mean, Brynhildr is a really cool spell that he has, but it's just sometimes Brynhildr is just not as good as some of the other spell tomes that you get. I've checked. I think sometimes the Gale spell's better. Sometimes I think does he have any other tomes I gave him? I think not Thunder. The other next lightning move. He's lightning. That's probably better. But it's kind of meh, to be honest. And that's it. I just find Leo kind of an okay character. Ryoma! Okay, now, again, bias between Conquest and Birthright. Ryoma, as a character, he's okay. He's like almost on par with Leo. He is the big cheese of Hoshido. He's a big, important character. But he doesn't act like it. He just is, for the sake of, he's like the tall guy. And speaking of him being the tall guy, I think he's like the tallest character's portrait-wise in the game, due to his entire portrait. It cuts off like somewhere on his hair. Therefore, like, it may seem that he's probably the tallest character in the game. I don't know if he actually is the tallest character in the game, but he's actually quite tall if the game doesn't cuts off his hair for how tall he is. So he's a big guy. Big, cool samurai with his electric sword, the Rajinto. That's a really cool name. The freaking samurai of the Thunder God. That's pretty awesome. It's like the equivalent of carrying Thor's hammer. It's awesome. But and him as a unit is pretty awesome. This guy takes any other sword master and puts it out of the water, just like he's that good. And he has a unique sword that makes him more powerful. And for a really late game unit, he's actually really helpful. Now I've recently got him his son. I don't ask where I paired him up with. I'll probably say that in a different video. But yeah, I just once I did that, I realized, why didn't he tell his son that he's actually a prince? Even the son is aware of. You know, you could have told me that earlier so I can prepare for it ahead of time, but you didn't. So why? So there you go. I just find him not kind of okay, but his as unit is pretty cool. Next. The main character, Corrin. Now, I think him being 5 is probably most appropriate spot. Mostly because I find them, like Realm, a bit middle of the road when it comes to his/hers personality and as a unit. As a person, for personality, he/she is a hero, essentially. Like the character who doesn't want to kill, even though you would think that would make sense given the situation to do so. Especially on North side. So on North side, the Avatar would do whatever he or she can to not kill anyone and tell everyone else in his party not to do it. Despite there being characters that will kill things at a snap, just in a snap. Like freaking Perry, who just loves, basically, kind of like how crazy she is about killing things as freaking Henry. Maybe it's not that obsessed with killing things, just more like blood, but the point. I find him/her kind of the hero, kind of normal, nothing special at this point. As a customizable unit, I kind of like some of the options, like especially the hair options gives me quite a lot of hair options. For the hair color, the hairstyle, not so much. Even for stuff like the eyes, for some reason you can't change the eye color. Maybe it's supposed to be red all the time, or I think there was one hairstyle that gives me purple for some weird reason. I don't remember. Oh, one eye option gives me purple for some weird reason. Maybe it was just me. But your eyes are always red, which is kind of lame. That's pretty much it. There's like decent amount of customization, but not as much. Also too bad that you can't like change any other part customization on your private port instead of just your hairstyle. That's kind of lame. But you know, I really don't care, because if I'm gonna use a hairstyle, I'm gonna stick to it. As a fighter, again, you can choose what class you want for. You can more or less choose what class you want for Corrin, aside from the main Lord class. Because my conquest file, I made my avatar a paladin, because this is my favorite class, paladins baby. And for my birthright, I put my female avatar a bow knight. A bow knight specifically because I never used the bow knight class in Awakening and kind of wanted to make up for it. And B, because I wasn't sure whether or not to name my female avatar Jewel, like I usually do for customizing female characters with the option of blue hair, or name it Isabel, whatever, due to Rule 63 me, and I'm going to put my Revelation file, just my name. So I decided to put them both together, be like the sword version like me, or the Rule 63 me, and bows for Jewel, and put them together. And I think it's the only class that has both swords and bows exclusively, just those two. It's Bow Knight, which actually fits well with the Paladin, since it's also another class with horseback. So fits perfectly. Also, my female avatar married Saizo, and with the ninja masks, looks just like what you'd expect of a kunoichi, without being exactly the ninja or its promotions class. But there you go. It's pretty cool. It also gives you like interesting options for whoever you're gonna marry. Like, for example, if you have a class that's like, let's say like Hoshida only, and you marry someone who only has Nor access, Nor class access, you probably give the Hoshida class to that character. Let's give an example. Let's say you made your avatar the the Diviner class, and you marry I don't know, Nyx? Like Nyx or Odin, one of those two, depending on gender. Since they're both dark mages, you can make them and their child have the dark mage and the regular mage, the sage options, of already make their character pretty cool. Especially if you're a female and you can marry Odin, you can give Ophelia some really awesome magic stat. That'd be awesome. Plus, who doesn't like Ophelia? She's cute. But there you go. I just ramble on. Next. Just, yeah. For Honoka. Now, Honoka is really hard character to give her a mate for, because again, I tried to figure out who to marry who, and Honoka is just not on the table, even despite I use her quite often, kind of like another character on this list I haven't talked yet. That Honoka is just quite a cool character. I find her the coolest looking character, not the hottest character, but the coolest character, just by appearances alone. Also Sky Knight class, because Cordelia. But, I find her pretty cool. Her voice reminds me of Rainbow Dash. Enough said. I like, take coolness, Plus, a cool voice actress who sounds like Rainbow Dash is also cool. And that's Honoka. Just find a really cool character. We're trying to difficult to find a mate for because the guys who I've left in Birthright are just... nah. Elise! Now, she's the other character that I find difficulty finding a mate for. Although I think I've probably decided on Jacob. Although it's gonna be really weird. So, Elise... Now, I want to say it in a different list. I want to say a different tops, but I'm gonna say it here because it's gonna take me a while to make the other tops I'm thinking of. But, Elise gives you no time to waste in giving you the first impression of that she is like a cute little sister. She is the sister type, more so than any other character. More so than any of the sister characters. She is the sister character. Like, she's cute. She looks up to you. Even though she's like the, she's more like a kid than anyone else, but she's actually still serious and trying to help everyone and actually trying to fight. Despite being a troubadour class, and you know how those class fights often that's none at all. But yeah, Elise is the character the little sister character that gives you a really good first impression. And I thought that I wouldn't like Elise because of it. However, Elise has grown on me very, very quickly, like insanely quickly. It's like, yeah, I like Elise. Like she's a really good sister character, and that's pretty much it. She's the sister character that gives you no time to say otherwise, and her starting class is really good beginning the game due to the movement range, and she's probably most likely gonna be the main healer of Conquest, despite freaking Felicia being also an attacker. But Elise, like once you promote her into whatever class you want, she is really good. That's why I find her difficult to find a husband for because of it. I just use her normally, like as is. To Camilla, oh boy, what the heck am I going to say to her that people wouldn't call me a freaking liar for, despite me telling the truth? Okay, Camilla, don't look down, look at her eyes. She is the team mom, I guess. Like, she's very caring, like, she really cares about her family. Sometimes a little too much, but she is very caring. Like, I like her smile. She has a very cute smile, like her long hair, long purple hair. It's just like the kind of character that I just grow to love, I guess. But that's Camilla. What else to say? I mean, granted, I immediately, as soon as I could, I gave her to a Great Knight class because I married Camilla on Conquest. By the way, don't judge. But yeah, I just find Camilla to be a very sweet character, so I just had to, really, because Camilla is a very sweet and caring character, and she's an awesome. Her class options are awesome, especially Wyvern Lord. Now, as soon as I have the chance, I'm gonna port her back to Wyvern Lord from Great Knight just to learn, because she had just learned Luna, so I'm gonna put her back to Wyvern Lord because that Wyvern Lord class is gonna be really helpful with Luna. It's gonna be awesome. And I think I'm going to also reclass the hero because I A+ support her with Severa, so she can have the hero class, so I can have Luna and Soul with the Wyvern Lord class. That'd be really interesting. But other than that, she's a really helpful character. Like sometimes, like when I can't do a thing, I just have Camilla be in the background, like, and doing her thing. It's awesome. And finally, the big cheese himself, Xander. Now, okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If it wasn't for any other character in the game, like if you remove every other character in the game, just look at just the first trailer, the first trailer, Emblem Fates, I would immediately gravitate towards Conquest exclusively because of Xander. That's how much I like Xander. I don't even need to know who he is. I don't need to know any context whatsoever. I can already tell by who this guy looks like that I am getting Conquest because of this guy. That's why he's my favorite character. He like you can tell what kind of character he is just by looking at him. Like one glance and you already know, yep, he's my favorite character. And the cool thing, the interesting thing about me is that I don't necessarily need to have a female character to have a favorite character. I mean, my favorite game character of all time is a dude. I still have a lot of favorite game characters that are guys. But Xander, he's there. He is the big stoic, like, I am the leader kind of guy, and don't you forget it. Especially, he has, like, I guess his appearance is cool, his armor is cool, his class is the Paladin class, Paladin's baby, his sword is cool, what else, what am I going to say, like, the way he speaks is cool, like, the way he's like a commander, he's the commander, even more so than Ryoma, he knows exactly how to rule. It's just that he can't because he has a giant butthole dad and nobody likes him, but he just had to because he's the king. But Xander is the kind of guy that who would change things for the better should he become king. By the way, I have yet to complete Conquest. I don't know what happens after that. By the way, I don't have Revelation yet, but I do plan to get it once I reach chapter like 20 something with both files. I just find Xander the kind of guy. It's like, yep, he's my favorite character. No freaking context whatsoever. This guy, context because of this guy. Also doesn't help freaking Severa, who's also on the Conquest side. Heck, if she was on the Birthright side, I'd probably skew a little bit more towards Birthright because I want to go with one of my favorite Awakening characters and my daughter. But yeah, the fact that I'm gonna end this section here, but I'm gonna say right now, when it comes to Birthright versus Conquest, even though I find Birthright's gameplay a little more like not satisfying, it's just very grindy, which is like I do like grinding games, don't ask. But I find Conquest characters to be more interesting since Conquest has all the characters that I like. Which is the weird thing about me is that even though I like gameplay over story, I like characters over gameplay over story. So if a game has a really cool character, I don't care what the gameplay is like, as long as I could play. It's not M-rated. As long as I would play it. If there's a character that I would definitely like, I would play that game. Which is why I would prefer Conquest over Birthright, despite playing both more or less simultaneously. So anyway, that is all for just the Royals for Fates, and soon enough we'll get the full Fire Emblem Fates characters stops after I play through all 3 games. Of course, after all bunch of tops too. We'll probably get to that whenever we get to that. So anyway, see you guys later.